He has got it. So, good evening. He's got his ukulele with him. Sounds a bit out of tune. Hello there, somebody has just entered. Do you have any questions, KDP questions? Or have you just come for the melodic tunes? What's your question? Do you have a question? I still haven't got to grips with this live video thing. Do you have a question? Do you have a question? Do you have a question for KDP? Do you have a question for KDP? KDP, KDP. That should be my new intro to all my videos that I do. God, I hate this angle. God, it's looking old. So an update from me on my KDP. Had a really good month in September. So far in October, it's been not as good as September because quite a lot of my books, well, I say quite a lot, 3, like kind of back to school kind of books. Well, I say back to school books. They're not kind of technically back to school books, but they take off in September usually and then die off as the year goes on. But what I was thinking of doing this year is maybe putting out a few Christmas books in the next couple of weeks and seeing if I can get those ranking before Christmas and see if I can... Cindy, yes, there she is, my absolute dear. How are you doing? Old Ben Kenobi sat with his ukulele, speaking to Cindy. This is the sort of content which you can't get anywhere else, folks. Can't get it anywhere else. So what I need to do is, for the last 3 weeks, I've been... Just to get you to stop playing, I'll think of a question. You better do it quickly. Quickly, Cindy. No, so for the last 3 weeks, or maybe 4 weeks, I've been working on the course, which is probably the best course that's ever going to exist, to put it modestly. Right, basically I'm about a third of the way through it, the course, and it's 3 hours long. already. 3 hours of video content, and that's seriously edited. I've taken out all the crap. So are you doing Christmas themed books or more generic that could be bought for Christmas and all year? That's a good question, and I think the answer to that is, at the moment, I don't know, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a bit of a look around using my various methods for keywords and stuff. So usually the keywords will dictate what sort of books I'm going to be publishing. But I mean, as I say, I've been doing quite a lot of work on the course, because I really want to get that out in the new year. So I've got kind of a plan to get that done. And, you know, to be honest, I usually do a weekly video, which I put on YouTube. And I was going to do one today, and I just felt a bit burnt out from making videos. Because, as I previously said there, I'm about a third of the way through this course. I've done about 15 lectures with supplements, diagrams and stuff like that. So it's just, I just sat down today and I thought, right, I'm going to do my video, which I planned. And then I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to do a live video instead. Sometimes you do need to take a bit of a break. I've got 3 kids, and I still work through the day. So by the time I come home and we do the picking up the kids, the school run, so to speak, and then do the, you know, the dinner time, and then wash up after the dinner time, then we put the oldest kids put themselves to bed, but after we put the little one to bed and stuff, you know, it gets to kind of about the time that we're on now, which in the UK is about 9 o'clock. So I've got a bit of time to do some content creation or work on a project that I might be working on. And today I just thought, you know, I'm going to do a live video and see if anyone's got any questions or whatever. I always find it interesting that when I'm just on the live, you get people kind of watching, but I'm not really doing anything. I'm just kind of on my little ukulele, writing songs for Cindy. So I am going to. What I did do this week was I actually got I paid a freelancer to do me some book covers, some low content book covers. So I usually do my low content book covers myself. Whereas this time I thought, you know what, because my last few low content books, have been flops. They've been flops. So I just need to change it a little bit, and I've got great keywords, but then I just think the product, I look at it and think, well, I think it's good, but then the sales don't sort of reflect that it's good. And do you ever find that, where you think, I've made a really good book there, really fantastic, that's going to do really well, and it doesn't? I'd question, how much ads encourage sales, do you think? Quite a lot. Right, so the question from Cindy there is, how much do ads also encourage organic sales, do you think? Well, the sort of thing I would say here is, if your ads are converting and you've got a low ACOS, kind of lower than 30%, then if that's consistent, keep that going, because it means that you're making money. You're making money. And then take into account the organic sales and see how many organic sales is working for that kind of level of ad spend. Okay. Now, I have some books that I've never even put an ad on, and they sell on a regular basis. Sometimes, multiple copies a day. And, there's a part of it which I think is keywords. Also, someone has seen your book at the correct time to buy maybe a couple of copies, which is then give it a low rank, and then someone else saw it. And sometimes there's a little bit of a luck involved in this, but you can control quite a lot of it via good keywords in the first place and things like that. But getting back to the question, I think overall, if you are spending money on ads and you're routinely getting sales from it, the cost is low. I have generally seen good organic sales as well, and I think that just comes down to you're just keeping your book floating at the top of the pile of thousands and thousands of books, so you're more likely to be seen. And if you do everything else, which I'm always harping on about, you've got more chance of it converting. What I was thinking of doing is going like crazy and sort of putting a lot of money into ads and seeing how much I can kind of escalate the amount of see, for instance, if I spend £500 on ads, you know what I mean, I would tend to get that back. I'd tend to get the ad spend back plus another £500. So what I think to myself is, do I just go big? Do I go big? Do I think I'm going to put £5,000 into ads this month? Am I going to get £5,000 back? Who knows? It's one of those things where you think, do I try it or do I not? Do I try it or do I not? Hi, I have a book that only sells with ads but no organic sales. I guess my question to you then would be, how many ad sales do you get? Like how many consistently do you get? So what I'm saying there is it's all about clicks. So when I speak to authors and I do my little consultations that I do, if there's somebody who is spending, I don't know, $5 a day, yeah, typically for that $5 a day, you're probably getting in the region of 15 clicks, maybe a bit more. Now, typically a good book would have sort of one sale in every 5 clicks. So if you use that as a basis, you think, right, okay, how many sales am I getting? So if you're only getting 4 or 5 clicks in a whole week, and you're maybe getting one sale every now and again, you're not getting enough data for you to think, I'm only getting sales through ads, because your book will never get a very low bestsellers rank. Do you see what I'm saying? So you need to put in a bit of money to begin with to see what's going on. Okay, so you've got to have confidence in the book in the first place. Ads can be a bit of a risk, but I think they're worth it. Yeah, I think I certainly think they're worth it if you know what you are doing. Mr. Ben, renaming the channel to Mr. Ben. There was actually a kid's character called Mr. Ben who had like a little bowler hat. He was like incredibly English. Anyway, How many books did you publish before you thought this was a thing for you to make some money? I think what you're saying there is how many books did I publish before I started making enough money to think, whoa, I'm making some money off this now. I would say about 100 books. But remember, I started off as a fiction author, so I started off doing fantasy books, and I thought to myself, well, it's taken a year to write that book, and I'm making $4 per sale, and it's very difficult to do. To get that sale, to get someone to read your 120,000 word novel. And I thought, well, I'll just make a notebook and see what the situation is there. Didn't sell. So I made another one, didn't sell. And I kept going until I started to make some sales, really. And it was around the 100 mark, I would have thought. But what I would say was that 100, some people, could make one book and it'd be perfect. It'd be one low content book and it just takes off straight away. But what I've seen over time and time again from people who have been successful with this, and people who are miles more successful than I am at it, is there's a period from when you start to when you start generating some decent passive income, right? And that period, that amount of books, whether it's 100, whether it's 10, whether it's 50, it's Mr. Ben is showing your age. Yeah. So anyway, back to what I'm saying. You can see my age in my eyes at the moment. Anyway, that kind of period from when you start to when you start making some money, some people it's very short. I've noticed that some people just have a really good affinity for just thinking of great ideas. Now, I don't think I'm necessarily one of those people. Some of my books I feel are just lucky. You know what I mean? Some of them I've so been convinced that they're going to make me a fortune, and they just haven't worked. So what I would say to people is keep developing your skills, and you will get there eventually, hopefully in less than 100 books. Now, a lot of the stuff that I put on my YouTube channel, is the kind of things that I have kind of learned along the way. So if you watch the videos, then you're kind of getting a bit of help, which I didn't necessarily have when I first started doing it. So you can kind of fast track the process there. So yeah, so you are showing your age. Yes, I am showing my age. 40 years old now. 40 years old on this planet, I've been. Other classic kids shows. Are you publishing within one specific niche? Oh. Very good question, Cindy. Very good question. Majority of my my books that are making a decent amount of money are in education, and secondary would be health and fitness. Yeah, so I don't look like it, but I'm into kind of my fitness. I know about nutrition. I know about programming, exercises and things like that. So I have quite a lot of medium content books that have got exercise plans and stuff, which, they're not mind-blowing. They're not like, thousands of dollars a month, but certainly some of them are a couple of $100 a month. My best book at the moment is an early education book for kids. And to be honest, that only took off about 3 or 4 months ago, or maybe it was before the kids broke up, which coincided with a big event that happens in the UK for kids. And my 9-year-old was having having an exam that was really important. So I thought, I'm going to make a book which is going to help her do it. So I did that, and then I published it, and then it helped a lot of other people as well. So that took off. You say that would be a competitive niche, i.e., health and fitness or educational books, yeah. But this is the thing. In a competitive niche like that, there's lots of books out there. There's loads, hundreds, millions, trillions of books. But there is keywords, okay, that are not so competitive. Education for kids, people like me who are parents will spend money on for their kids because everybody loves their kids, don't they? So they will spend money on it if it's going to help the kids. And you are making books which are going to help. So health and fitness, people want to look after themselves, don't they? So there's always a lot of people who want to help out the kids, and there's always a lot of people who want to be fit and healthy. Okay, so you just find the keywords in that kind of genre, niche, should we say, that are going to get you to the top of the pile. Recently found your channel, really like the format, you remind me of Bob Mortimer. That is literally the best compliment ever. Sigh on the moor, what an absolute legend you are. I'm from Middlesbrough, which is the same place that Bob Mortimer's from. And he is a bit of a local legend around these parts. And I've even met him a couple of times. Nice guy. He's you think that he puts on that character, but he's just that person. That's just who he is all the time. Yes, true. The common keywords in my niche are very competitive, so I have to dig for more keywords. Okay, well, Middlesbrough are my favourite team ever. The worst part about me coming from Middlesbrough is I'm not even a Middlesbrough fan. I'm a Newcastle United fan, because my daddy is a Geordie, and so was my nana. So that's why I'm a Newcastle fan. I do like the borough to do well, but Newcastle here, unfortunately. So yes, Cindy, the common keywords in my niche are very competitive, so I have to dig for more keywords. Yes, you do. Or, do something different. What I mean by that is if you've got a seemingly impossible task in terms of getting discovered, it's too competitive, blah, 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 blah. All you do is make your book more valuable than your competitors. That's it. That's all you got to do. Do something different. Do something different that someone else is doing. Yeah, it's just, what can you offer someone that the other competitors can't? Yeah. If you don't know, you are a KDP ninja. Why don't you just ask me? Or why don't you just ask Kerry? And we can have a bit of a brainstorm and we can come up with some ideas which will make your books miles better than the competitors. Miles better. We'd probably be able to do it in a couple of minutes. Anyway, so what's this? Right, so sigh on the moor. Would you recommend using multiple single words in each keyword slot or a phrase? Right. So I have used single words, I've used phrases, I have used phrases but removed every single duplication word in all of the boxes in the title, subtitle. What I've found is if you find a good keyword by whatever method you're doing, whether that's publish or rocket, book bolt, whether you're using, a manual method or whatever you're doing, right? Once you've got a keyword, A, B, C, ABC, yeah. It's got 3 words. That for those 3 individual words combined together, that phrase is the keyword. Okay, so that phrase is the keyword. Now, in your next slot, if you have another word that has A, B, C, D, yeah. Now you can use A, B, C, D, and you will get the power of that A, B, C, D. You will get the A, B, C, right? But it'll have less power because it's got that D. So what I'm saying is that your keywords, if you have found 2 words or 3 words, yeah, and it's got a lot of searches with low competition, I would use the whole phrase, yeah, because, you know, a single word, notebook, you're never going to be found for. Notebook for 40-year-olds, you're probably going to get a bit more, it's more of a niche keyword, isn't it? So yeah, I would just don't do single words. It hasn't worked for me. Find nice phrases. 3 words is the best if you can get them. The other thing that you can do as well is do a bit of keyword blending. So as I was saying before, you've got ABC, ABCD, and then you might have ABCF. Yeah, throw the F in with the D. Yeah, so ABCD and then throw the F in. So ABCF, you know, F, ABC, you know, how it kind of, it's difficult to kind of explain this, I guess, without kind of having the screen up and stuff like that. But as a rule, or what I've certainly discovered myself is, because what I did when I very first started this is produce pretty much the same book, pretty much, and had some were single words, some were phrases, some were blended, and then one of a mixture. The one with the mixture did the best. Yeah, the one with the single words did the worst. Okay, and there was, you know, only arguably slight differences in the covers and stuff like that. But your keywords is mainly your initial being found. He gets it. Oh, thank God. Thank God. I've actually got I did a keyword video a few videos back, which was are your keywords crap? It was titled. I showed my missus that title and she thought it was stupid, a stupid title, but I was insistent that was the title that was going to grab everyone's attention. And then 300 views later, I thought to myself, perhaps I should have tried to search engine optimize this a little bit better than trying to be funny. Yes, I do those silly things, and I even got a guy send me a message the other day and said that he loves my intros, which I thought was funny. Maybe I could just do a video full of intros with an actual no useful content. It's just me just doing intros. I've got a particularly good intro for my next video, which I'm now going to do next week. I'm not going to do a video this week because I've got family pizza night on Friday, where all the family come around. And then on Saturday, I am taking the beast camping. So I've just recently bought myself a Volkswagen Transporter for considerable expense, and it's a camper as well. So I'm going to be taking my family about an hour down the road. could drive there and drive back, but no. We're going to drive there an hour down the road, sleep in the van, because we can. And that's what KDP does for you. Yeah, so I've done a half an hour live video there. I think that's a decent amount of time. I think. It is, isn't it? Yeah, so Cindy's saying it's more fun to sleep in the van than at home. I love camping. Now, I generally, when I was a child, didn't like camping because you'd go in a tent and I never had the right kit. I didn't have like a floor sheet and stuff like that. And in the UK, Cindy, it's the floor in the UK is horrible. The ground, should I say. It's just horrible. You know, half the time you're going to be sleeping on a dog poo. Or the ground's uneven, or it's just wet and horrible. So camping for me as a child I didn't generally like, but now that I've got this class van, it's beauty. And I've had the van now for maybe 2 months or something, maybe a little bit less. I can remember I mentioned it, didn't I, on the Discord server that I bought this van. And straight away, the first weekend that I got it, I took it to a place called Keld, which is very close to Richmond. So for anybody who's watching, go and check that out. But it's got this amazing waterfall, and I wanted to swim in the waterfall, didn't I? So there I am. So we go and we camp, and I slept in my van, and it was absolutely amazing. And I slept right next to the river, so I could hear the river while I was sleeping. And I thought, this is it. This is just me. I'm loving it. And then I could hear. This was about 6 o'clock in the morning. You know, sometimes when you just wake up from your sleep because there's just a presence. There's a presence. And I could feel a presence from outside the van. And I thought, Now, my van's entirely black, right? And it looks like a panel van, completely black, right? But actually those panels are windows that you can see through. But people on the outside can't see it. So it just looks like a panel van. So anyway, I'm asleep and I could hear something. I thought, what's that? Somebody lurking. There's somebody lurking outside. So I kind of took my covers off and kind of like looked over like the window. And what did I see? A 50-year-old woman, probably a metre or so away from my van, with her bare bottom out, squatting on the floor, having a wee. And I just looked at her and thought, spoilt my night, that. Spoilt my first camping trip, that. You should try Dartmoor, last place in England to wild camp. Where did I wild camp last year? So I've got a friend who's into wild camping and bivvy bags and that whole sort of thing. And we went to bloody hell. Is it Glaisdale? Glaisdale, I think it was. Glaisdale, maybe. I might be getting that wrong. But we found a forest and we thought, right, we're gonna sleep in that forest. Went into the forest, and we went down this path. It was like a path, yeah. It was a massive path. That's a really famous path that goes all the way to Whitby, yeah. So anyway, I'll answer that question in a second, Si. I'll just tell you this story. So we were going down this path, and my friend Dave, he said, right, we'll take a right down here, because I've seen this white log on the floor, and that will be our marker to know that when we come back drunk later on from the pub, that's going to be the angle that we need to go find our camp. So I was like, right, okay. So we took a right. We walked for about 5 minutes into the deep forest, set up our camp, set up our hammocks, got like wood gathered because we were going to have a little fire. Went to the pub, went back because it was daylight. Went to the pub, had a few beers. Walking back on the night, pitch black, we've got our head torches on. Can't find the log. So we're just walking up and down this thing for hours, just thinking, we can't find the log. Where's the log gone? Where's the log gone? And in the end, we're sat there debating, saying, is this the log? And then the thing that struck us in our mind was, if this isn't the log, and we go into the forest, we're not going to get back to the actual path, are we? So this, if we take this chance, we might just go into the forest and never return. Luckily, it was the log. It was the log, and we found it. We found it. Anyway, do you do your own covers or do you farm it out? So I farm them out. I used to do them when I was first starting off. Now I just use maybe about this. Well, currently I use 2 freelancers on Fiverr, but there's a pool of about 5. So if I can't get one because they're too busy and stuff like that, I've got like a backup pool and stuff like that. But what I tend to do now is I tend to feature spot. So what I'll do is I'll just go on Amazon. No kind of what book I'm going to be doing. I'll look at the competitors, and I'll try and mimic their features. Won't copy, but I'll try to mimic their features. So if it's working for them, it should, in theory, work for me as well, shouldn't it? So that's what I do. Remind me, Cindy, remind me never to take camping location recommendations from me. No, you shouldn't. You really shouldn't. Anyway, so I think I'm going to leave that there, and I wish everybody well, and I will have a new video out for you guys next week. And if you haven't joined the group, go and click on any one of my videos and go and join the group, because that's flying at the moment, and lots of good stuff happening in there. And I guess I will see you in the next one. Okay, so have a nice evening or morning or wherever you are, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye bye. I can't turn it off. Can't turn it off.